Yo, Reezy. Alright, so first things first, I opened the phone app because I want to take away the auto tune. I can't do any work on the computer when auto tune is present, so I just went ahead and took that away. Since I was in the phone app, I decided, I'm just going to do the work here and then make a phone video. So, very first thing that I think I want to do here is change your vocal settings, for your main track, for your main verse. We're gonna change that to. I saved some filters from Mr. Perfect because we really like those vocals, so we're gonna go ahead and reuse those settings that I saved. You can go ahead and save them too if you want. I don't know exactly what, why, how it's specifically set up in order to get the sound how it is, but I saved it because we really liked it, so we want to recreate that. The yellow lines here, those are your main vocal tracks, as you know. The blue line, that's your, I'm going to call it backup number 1. The green line is backup number 2. So I have another filter saved called Be Reezy. That's for your backups. So I want there to be a distinctive difference between each of your backups. So we're going to apply Be Reezy to backup number 1. And to backup number 2, I guess I'm just going to pick, I'm doing a voiceover, so I actually did all these actions before, so you're going to see me come to the realization here in a second that I'm going to want to use Japanda B for the green line, and sometimes for you I'll use Hype Vox for that. Just depending, I don't know. I mean, we kind of play around a little bit for the backups and stuff, but the main vocals, I almost feel like we kind of just want to get those the same all the time. So here's where I kind of figure out that I want the Japanda B. So Japanda B has a really high gain on it, so you're gonna see me. I'm gonna turn that bitch down right away because I know in my heart here, yep, that shit is really, really turned up. But it doesn't, that's just, oops. I moved the panning, there you go, okay. So I'm gonna do it just by sight here. I might even start muting, yeah, I'm gonna mute. Oh, here, okay, I'm talking, you see that decibel meter at the bottom? Where the green and the red, that there, I just muted out the beat. Now I'm going back to the beginning of your verse. We're gonna listen to it again. And you see this decibel meter right here? I want to try to keep everything right around that dot. When the vocals, when the meter hits that red, that's when it's peaking. So that means if you turn up the volume of your device or your speakers or whatever you're playing this song on all the way, whenever those bars reach the red, it'll create some sort of reverberation or decreased quality for us letting that occur. So I want to try to keep everything around the dot if I can. I don't know what I'm talking about right now because I was talking, but it didn't catch the audio. So I'm not really sure what I was saying here, but I was trying to explain some deep shit to you, bro. Let me try and think. It was probably about how we're going to mix. So we don't care about mixing your verse right now against the beat volume, because that's going to be done at the end. We only care about your verse being mixed against itself. So your main vocals, your main verse vocals mixed against your background vocals. That's all that really matters. And then we isolate that audio, import that into the main revision, and then we can adjust that volume to our liking, you see. So the only thing I'm doing right now is just kind of adjusting by sight here. See, on the computer it's a lot more precise because I can change these I have to like kind of estimate by sight. Okay, I want to keep these the same, I want to put this lower. On the computer I can like tick it down and like fucking make it every volume exactly to how I want it to. There's increments that I can kind of adjust it to and make them equal. Here I've got to guess that they're equal. Okay, here what I'm doing now is I'm muting everything except for your vocals. Oops, there's one more. Japanda, there's one more. That's the mark. That's Mark. Oh, I'm finding that out. Oops. Okay, there you go. So this is now just your vocals all by themselves a cappella. So I'm probably going to save this revision here. If I like the way that this sounds, I'm going to probably check it here. Do I like the way that this sounds? Yeah, I like the way that this sounds. And when I save this revision, it's now just going to be your acapella. You've seen me do that a bunch of times, right? So go ahead, do that, Japanda. Right, so I saved it, okay. So let's go ahead and back out. Now let's label this revision immediately. Oops, not that one, this one. Let's label this revision immediately, because if we don't label shit, we're not going to keep shit straight. And that reminds me, all of those revisions that you made today, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're all the same exact recording. With this, you just change the filters for each one. You just change the filters, and then you change the filters and saved it, and then you change your filters and saved it. If that's just for your listening purposes, I understand. It's not necessary. Obviously, it's all the same recording, right? We can always just listen to it in the mix editor and just change it as we go and stuff. But if you're doing that for other people's, benefit, you know what I'm saying? Like my benefit or someone else who's listening to it to try and listen to see the difference. That's the only way they can do that without them having to go into the mix editor and doing it themselves. So you figured out that you like the punchy one the best. So if you don't like these that I did for you here, we'll just go back to the punchy, you know what I'm saying? Or we'll import that one. It's just that easy. Okay, so here I'm going into my fucking Google Drive and download. I could actually just do the Bandlab revision from my Google Drive, but I like to just put stuff on my phone, I guess, because I don't know, redundant, I guess. Okay, so I'm going down to my last revision, which is the main revision where I have everything imported in, right? Imported Pyroclastics verse, and I mixed it a little bit further. Okay, so let's go into this revision and let's import in that acapella. Okay, so we're just gonna add a new track, pick file, and then choose your acapella, and now it's all of those 4 lines that we worked on the other revision are now contained in this one line. And when we import it in, it times it fucking immaculately because the way you recorded it. And there was that time space before your recording started, right? And so it automatically saves that space, and so it just automatically is just gonna like place it perfectly the same as you recorded it. If you recorded over the part of the beat that your verse is going to live over, if that makes any sense. I should have labeled your vocal track right there as B-Reezy imported verse or whatever, but we all know what that is. We can listen to it and hear it and stuff, and it's probably not mixed correctly. That's another thing. So it's not mixed correctly against the beat. If I'm gonna guess, it's probably too soft. So we're gonna raise that at some point, but we can do it at the end. Okay, that doesn't need to be done now.